Hey, it's Asa at the Spot. Now, if you're drafting an FPL team or you have an FPL draft team, but you don't know exactly how the scoring works, well, by the end of this video, you will know exactly why your first round selection, Timo Werner, got you just 2 points at the weekend. And knowing how the scoring works will probably help you select your next FPL draft team. If you want more videos like this, more FPL draft advice, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ding the bell so you're notified every time I drop new content. It is the spot for fantasy footballers, especially those in FPL draft leagues. I've been playing fantasy sports my entire life, finishing everywhere from first to last, and one of the many things I've learned over the years is that championships don't happen by accident. Knowing how the scoring works is just the first step to building that title-winning team. All right, let's get right to it. I'll tell you how the scoring works for each position group, starting from the back and working our way up the pitch. Keepers, like every other position group, get a single point for playing up to 60 minutes and 2 if they play for more. They get 4 points for a clean sheet, and though it's not likely, it's good to know that they get 3 points for an assist and 6 points for a goal. Peter Schmeichel would have been a decent fantasy keeper in his day. Another big point getter for the last line of defense is stopping a penalty, which would earn you 5 points. They also get a point for every 3 saves. As for deductions, keepers lose a point for every 2 goals conceded. Discipline is also something that takes points off your score sheet. Every player gets a single point deduction for each yellow, and it is -3 for a red. On to defenders now. Scoring is the same as keepers for the following categories: minutes played, goals scored, assists, goals conceded, as well as the discipline deductions. There are also 2 other items, however, that pertain more to the outfield players. You lose 2 points for a missed penalty, and it is -2 for an own goal. Let's get to the midfielders now. The points for minutes played and assists remains the same, but midfielders get 5 points for a goal and a single point for a clean sheet. This talent pool is also generally extremely deep and usually has the top point getters at the end of the season. So this is the standard scoring system created by FPL, but it is far from perfect. For example, N'Golo Kanté has been one of the best footballers in the world for years, and he can't get rostered. Not in the traditional FPL formats, and not even in FPL draft leagues. And that is because defensive midfielders are pretty much useless in fantasy terms. So let us know what you think of the current scoring system in the comments below, and tell us what you'd like to see changed. How can it be improved? All right, let's get to the attackers then. The main difference from the mids is that your forwards don't get any reward for a clean sheet, and they only get 4 points for a goal. It may appear harder for them to accumulate points, but there were 4 forwards in the top 10 of scoring during the 2019-2020 campaign. Guess who they were? Without looking it up, and mention it in the comments. So that's the most common way for players to accumulate points, but there are also bonus points awarded to the top 3 players in each match based on a completely different and far more complicated scoring system. I will now go through the 32 category list for determining the top 3 players in each match based on the bonus points system. Ready? Here we go. Playing 60 minutes, playing over 60 minutes, keepers and defenders scoring a goal, midfielders scoring, forwards scoring, assists, keepers and defenders clean sheet, saving a penalty, save, successful open play cross, creating a big chance for every 2 clearances, blocks, and interceptions, for every 3 recoveries, key pass, successful tackle, successful dribble, scoring a goal that wins the match, 70 to 79% pass completion, 80 to 89% pass completion, over 90% pass completion. Now the deductions. Conceding a penalty, missing a penalty, yellow card, red card, own goal, missing a big chance, making an error that leads to a goal, making an error that leads to an attempt at goal, being tackled, conceding a foul, being caught offside, shot off target. Based off of this scoring system, the highest scoring player gets 3 points, second gets 2, and the third best player in the match gets a single point. Best way to follow this is to just check your player's info card to see if they get any bonus points after the match. It's what everyone does. And if you're familiar with the traditional FPL scoring system and wondering about captain points, well, that doesn't exist in the FPL draft world, so it's one less thing to stress about. So now you know exactly how the scoring works in the FPL draft formats, but that is just the beginning. To continue the conversation, make sure you follow the spots on Twitter and TikTok. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and ding the bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Thanks for hanging out at the spot.